Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today we're checking out a 2024 Lexus RX 450h Plus in the luxury trim. This vehicle is sitting on 235/50 Bridgestone tires wrapped around 21-inch alloy wheels with a gloss metallic finish. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated rotors on all four wheels. The name of this color is Matador Red Mica. And I had to pull it over here in the sun because it is an impressive color. It's just not like a normal red. There's like an electricness to it. I don't know if you can tell. It has the metal flake there. And yeah, just an impressive looking color when you see it in the sunlight. So here in the front, pretty interesting style. Right in here, you can see this grille has these little metallic gray or silver portions. The badge also serves as the radar adaptive cruise control. There's a camera just below it here. Trying to get out of the sun so I don't have cast a shadow here. There's parking sensors integrated here and here. So they're kind of out of sight a little bit. There's one here on the side in the body colored portion here as well. It does have little headlight washers that pop up and spray on the headlights when needed. When you're cleaning the windshield, basically. Now there's cornering lights here. Little cornering light there. There's the fog light. And it's a little projector LED. And then there's a 3 projector headlight system here. So I have a night video, so you can check it out. You can see how they perform and everything looks like at nighttime. So you can see it has this little black lip there at the very bottom. And that extends here on the sides of the vehicle here. Under the doors. There's little mud flaps. That extends here. The wheel wells areas are body colored. Now there's a combination of black and body color here for the handles. Gloss black pillars. Side mirrors are also body colored on the upper portion. There's a metallic, there's a chrome strip around the glass, and then you have this floating roof effect back here. And then up here, the roof rail is that same kind of like silver, like you saw in the grille in the front, metallic silver paint. This is what the key looks like, and Lexus has used this key for a while now. It's fairly light, smooth, and easy to carry around with you. It's a full proximity system, but it does have buttons on here, lock, unlock, the ability to open up the power lift gate and the panic button as well. There's a physical key on the inside in case you need it. But generally, as long as this key's with you, you can use the vehicle 100%. So it doesn't have like a mechanical handle. It has an electronic handle, so it's basically just a button under here. So you just press that button, it releases the door. To lock the vehicle, there's a little sensor right here indicated by that little dimple. Put your hand on it, and it locks the doors. There's also a physical key location behind this little cover. So you can take that cover off, and there's where you can put your physical key in and unlock the door if you need to. The doors go all the way to the bottom of the vehicle. And there's actually a seal down here as well to try to keep the threshold area clean right here. The inside of the door has some soft touch surfaces. Now this is like a vinyl type material here and here. This is like a microfiber cloth right in here around that speaker. Looks pretty good. It's kind of like a suede type cloth. But it's very, very soft. This is semi-soft, I guess you could say. This handle is enclosed, so you can utilize that as a pocket, and there's a little piece of felt at the bottom as well. There's a large pocket at the bottom. There's a hard touch surfaces right here, but then this is soft again. It's like a wrapping over the hard touch surface. Now there is 3 presets here on the passenger seat. And the way these handles here work is basically you press in on them and it releases the door. It's electronic. But if you physically need to open the door, you can pull out on it, and it's like more of an emergency release here. So there's a threshold. It has a little bit illuminated sill plate there with Lexus badging. Power seat has up, down, tilt. This is a little thigh extension there. four-way lumbar adjustment. So there's a lot of movement and adjustments here for the passenger seat, especially at passenger seat. So this has the leather seats with the suede inserts there, heated and ventilated. You can see the perforations there, smooth leather here, suede there, suede's here on the side. And they feel good. They look good, they feel good. And I like the light color as well. So the floor mats hook in place. And there's plenty of leg room here. A little bit of tapering right in there, but not a big deal. There's a soft touch surface right here. All this is soft touch. And there's a locking glove compartment as well. And there's a felt lining on the inside of the compartment here. And it's fairly large. It has this huge manual in here. But yeah, really large compartment and nice and felt lined. Looks pretty good. We have more soft touch here. This is kind of like rubbery soft, non-reflective part. There's like a simulated bamboo wood grain. Looks simulated. It feels smooth. I don't feel any grain or anything. But it looks good. There's like a little ambient light that shines on this this little surface here, which is also like a suede material. And this is, once again, rubbery, non-reflective dash there. So it's multiple tiers here, here. Kind of comes down. And you can see this is black. This is like a brown color here with stitching in between. So the opening up here is very wide. You're not bumping your head. It's very easy to get in the vehicle, in and out. The seat height off the ground is great. So it's very easy to just like hop in and out. So yeah, that's why these type of vehicles are so popular, because they're just so comfortable and easy to get in and out. Here in the back, you can see the seat height is a little bit higher than the front. And the door opening is a little bit smaller. And the swing of the door probably could come out a little bit. It's not bad, but can I help out with that? But really, there's plenty of room. It's just right here, a little bit of an issue. You just got to make sure you don't bump your head on that. But overall, it's fine. Now, the inside of the back door has the hard touch surface here, soft, 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 soft. It does have the privacy glass in addition to the retractable shade. You do have the ability to fold these seats using this power switch. There's also one in the back. I'll show you that in a minute. It's basically a bench seat, and they're also heated and ventilated back here. Has that same leather suede perforations there in the center. The car seat attachments are very easy to get to, where they're visible too here on the outer seats. There's an armrest with cup holders here, a compartment here. Now the center part can fold down separate from the ends, but if you leave it attached, this side will fold down as a 60%, and then the other side is the 40. So it's a 60-40 split in that sense. The back of the seats are a soft touch, and they have the compartments here. It's easy to pull out, clean, look in there. Not quite a flat floor, but it does have a flat surface on the top of the center hump, and it has a little protection there. USB-C ports here, heated and cooled seats, climate control, and all that stuff is located there. This being a plug-in hybrid, it has both the fuel door, which is on the other side, and the charge port. So the charge port locks, the door locks with the vehicle. So the vehicle's locked, this door will lock as well. And this opens up like so. And that's where you can plug it in to charge it at nighttime. And you can use a 110 or 220 outlet. It comes with a 110 charger, but anyways, you can plug it in overnight. You're pretty much charged, or you are charged, and then you're ready to go for the next day. For 37 miles is the range for the electric part. Now it does have a little light under here, so you can see right there, so you can see what you're doing, which is nice. It has this little cover, and it keeps dust and stuff. Water is not really a big deal on these. The way these are designed, they're pretty well designed actually. So yeah, but this little dust cover is nice to have. So taking a look at the back of the vehicle, it has this body colored shark fin antenna here at the very top. And then you have this rear spoiler with a third brake light, but it also has a windshield wiper under here. If you can see it under there, hidden. I love that. Swings down. Full LED taillights back here, and they go all the way from one side to the other. Has a really nice look at nighttime, so you gotta check out the night video. Reverse lights, turn signals, all that stuff are all LED, looking really nice and sharp. Now the camera is right here. It's offset, tacked on with a tag. It looks like an aftermarket product, not very well designed in my opinion. Parking sensors back here as well, integrated. There's reflectors down here. It has like a metallic, like we saw on the grill, that same metallic color there. And then the black cladding. The exhaust is fairly well hidden. So opening up the power lift gate, you can of course use the key, or you can press this button under here and lift it up. If you have all the seats occupied with the passengers, this is the cargo space. So it has this shade right here, which you can retract. And then you can flip it up out of the way sometimes if you want, like so. You can also completely take it out if you want. Now this is the cargo space here. And it has a little first aid kit, which is kind of nice. There's a subwoofer here on the left side. There's also this little bag holder, 12-volt power supply, the ability to power fold the back seats, which is pretty cool. Another bag holder on this side. Power inverter, 1500 watts. That's pretty substantial. So it's a 3-prong, just like you'd find in your house. You can put a net pocket back here. There's some tie downs. So yeah, the amount of space in here is really good. This is all carpeted here on the side. On the underside of this is a hard touch surface. It has this little light right here. And we're going to see how well that works at night. It doesn't look very promising. The other light is here, and then you have one here. So those look like they might work okay. We'll see how they work in the night video though. Under this floor, it lifts up. And you notice it doesn't have any catch or anything. It's just laying here, but the handle does lift up. And here is the 110 charge cable. This is the super slow way of charging it. A 220 level 2 would be better. But that's the way this vehicle comes with this one. It's better than nothing. I mean, you can charge it overnight. Most people would have, it's okay with it. But it does plug into a regular charge port. The 12-volt battery is here. There's a fuse box under this cover here. There's more space here. Tire inflator kit, little compartments. If you had a jack, it would go in here, which this one doesn't have a spare tire or a jack. There's the front license plate holder in this compartment, which you can utilize for other things besides that. But yeah, this floor just lays there, not secured or anything. And then the mat goes over it. So yeah, you can fold these seats down. It's a 60-40 split. It's actually the center part folds down as well, separately if you want to do that. But it's a power fold, so we can just press these buttons right here to fold them. So kind of press and hold it for a second, and it'll fold it down. It's a little slow, but it makes its way down. You just got to make sure the front seats are out of the way. And it's not completely flat. There's quite a bit of a ramp there, but adding to your cargo space with this is still handy. And you can put a large box or something. Now, when you take the shade out and fold both seats down, it gets really wide open space back here. So very usable cargo space, especially when even if you have passengers in the back, still usable, but just adding the additional space there by being able to fold one or the other to add to your cargo space while still maintaining passenger space is really good. Now the power folding thing, not really necessary. It's a little slow. You can recline the seats a little bit using it, but yeah, it's okay. But still, I guess some people like it. Lowering the power liftgate, there's two buttons. One for simply lowering it, the other one to lower the vehicle, and then completely lock the vehicle. So you just press that to lower it here. There's a locking fuel door. and it's on the driver's side, and it is a traditional cap tether and a little place to hang the cap while you're pumping gas. So you pull it out here and put it right there in the center, and it holds it for you while you're pumping gas, and it also reminds you to put it back because you can't close the door with it there. So it's pretty cool. Surprised it's not capless at this point though. Starting up, you just hold the brake here, as long as the key's inside the vehicle, and press this button. And the engine may not start because it is a hybrid system, so it might run off the battery at first, but it will let you know it's ready to drive. You can see it says ready down here. The floorboard in front of the driver's seat, you can see the floor mat snaps in place. There's the accelerator, brake pedal, nice big footrest. Let's take a look under the hood. To raise the hood, there's a latch right here in the very center. You just reach in and you lift up on it like so. And basically this is what you're doing here. But holds itself up. You basically have to press it all the way up so that way it stays up where you want it. And it has two latches. So you see one here, one on the other side. That's nice. Nice solid hood. There's insulation on the firewall. A lot of insulation here. You can still hear the engine though, which is kind of interesting. So this is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, and it has dual electric motors with the all-wheel drive system, and it's able to put out 304 horsepower total, like the total horsepower output with everything, engine, electricity, motors, everything. Now it has an 18.1 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery, and it can go 37 miles in EV only range. So you can plug it in, charge it up, and then you can go 37 miles before the engine even turns on if you're just driving easy. Now it has a CVT, continuously variable transmission type experience. So it's a CVT on paper. It's a little bit different than normal CVT systems that Toyota has developed, and it's very reliable and no problems really. It does have the blind spot detection system, rear cross traffic alert, and the indicators here on the side mirror. So a little light will illuminate there on the side mirror when there's a vehicle in your blind spot. This is also an auto dim side mirror as well. So the inside of the driver's door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. So you have your power windows here, and they're one touch up and down. It's laminated glass here in the front. Rear windows, once again, one touch down. Goes all the way down with a non-laminated glass back there. Go up and down quite fast. All right, door lock controls here. You can adjust the side mirrors. You can also power fold them in, and then you can also set it to where they're automatically power fold when you lock the vehicle. So the seat here on the driver's side is basically like the passenger side. It has basically the same controls here. So usually the driver's seat one-ups the passenger in some capacity, but four-way lumbar adjustments, the thigh extension, all the adjustments are the same. Heated and ventilated as well. But yeah, they look good. To the left of the steering column, there's under here is a little felt line compartment, and it goes in there a little ways. You can put some stuff. And you also got the buttons here. So release the fuel door, open up the power lift gate, dimmer switch for the interior gauges, reset the trip here, and then you have a power tilt and telescoping steering column. I'm sitting in the driver's seat, and I have the driver's seat all the way back and all the way down, and I'm 6 feet tall to give you an idea of the potential legroom here, and it's pretty good. This vehicle is decent as far as legroom here. This is soft touch, but not really resting my leg on it or anything. So yeah, it's well done. If you're a little bit over 6 feet tall, should have no problem driving the vehicle. Now the steering wheel, it looks good. It has like this wood grain here, like a bamboo, leather wrapped, feels nice. Looks good, looks really nice. Now it has paddle shifters here on the back side, volume for the radio here, turn on your cruise control, turn on or off the lane tracing assist system. The rest of the buttons are touch sensitive, and you actually have to use the heads-up display or the screen to know what they do, because basically, well, let me just explain. Let me just show you in practice as I'm driving. the way these blank buttons work is if you, so you have your fingers here, and you just start touching these little things right here, these little pads, and it pops up on the heads-up display what the buttons do. Now, if you hit this button down here, sometimes it'll give you more information. Here on the left side, I kind of move my hand around, you can see it does different things. I hit this button right here, it switches everything to a different view. So the buttons aren't dedicated, they change depending on the situation. And so you do have to either use the heads-up display. If you turn the heads-up display, it will default back to the screen below you, the gauge cluster. But basically, like if I press the brake right now and I disengage the cruise control, right here I know that this button right here is the resume button. But if I press it, it didn't work. Okay, you have to, the way this system is, you have to put your finger on there, wait for it to pop up on the heads-up display, then you make the selection, and then it'll work. So it's not like a simple press. It has to sense your hand first, then you choose a selection, then you press. So, you know, it's a little bit of a learning curve. I think that, you know, some people might like this. I'm not really a fan of it, because just because you have the information on the heads-up display, it doesn't mean you're watching the road, okay? You're looking at the heads-up display, which is actually a screen. It's another screen that's overlaid over the windshield, and so therefore you're not really focusing on the road. You can easily get your mind off of the road and look at this little screen right here very easily. And you know, it serves as a distraction because you have to kind of like move around, you have to look, you have to read, you have to, you know, use your focus has to be on this screen in order to use this system. So it has a cruise control on the right side, and then on the left side is the radio information here. And then you press the more, and then it pops up additional options here. And it tells you, you know, using words that you have to read. You don't necessarily, I mean, once you get used to the system, you'll know what they do. But still, there's these extra intermediary steps that you have to take in order to make a selection when, like most vehicles on the road, have, you know, the buttons labeled, you can just press it, right? And now, with the Lincoln has a very similar system, but it doesn't require you can just press the button. It'll automatically know what you're talking about. It'll know your intentions. But this one, you just can't press the button. You have to put your finger on there, allow the software to start up, and then choose the selection, and then press. And you know, it's not like it's super slow or anything. I mean, you just go like that, pops up, hit press. You can still get the job done fairly rapidly, but it's a little bit of a delay. You know, it's not as fast as just pressing the button, right? And also, there's things in front of your face that's between you, your eyes, and the road that pops up that wants you to focus on. So yeah, that's the way these are. It's like a touchpad, and it pops up a screen on the heads-up display, and then you can make the selections there. And also, you know, takes away your heads-up display. So I'm going to go ahead and put the resume there. So some of the features kind of disappear as you have this pop up. Windshield wiper controls are here, and it does have a rain sensing system as well. There is the turn signal, but the headlight switch is over here as well. Automatic high beams button is here on the end, and you can turn off the daytime running lights. Have an automatic parking and headlights here, and then your fog lights are controlled here. And when you can see a little indicator showing you that the automatic high beams are on or off. So very simple. So the gauges are basically a screen there in the center. It has a battery percentage here on the left side. On the right side is the fuel gauge there. And you see it shows the clock, outside temperature, different basic information there, your range. But you can actually get a little bit more. information. So right now it's like a power meter, and it has the digital speedometer, what gear you're in. Right now it's showing right here where the average miles per gallon, which I'm 36 is a little bit higher than when it's rated, so that's pretty good. That's what I've been getting. But once again, to show you, I have to use the heads-up display. So I need to pull this back and look at the heads-up display because I need to. All right, so I'm gonna go here, hit that, and then now I can use these buttons here. Okay, so now go to the right or left. You can see it shows you different information there at the bottom if you want to have that. Radio. So the first one is fuel economy, next one is average speed. Driving ratio, so it shows you the EV versus the engine, whatever your radio is doing. So this will be a G-force meter, and then a blank screen. So you can have any one of those that you want. So we install the start button here, and here's the touch screen. I like the way it has these like physical knobs here integrated into this touch screen. So these are for your temperatures, for your climate control. And then so you have basically climate controls integrated at the lower half, and then the upper half has other information. So it has these icons that are fixed. So you have the navigation here. You can have the navigation map larger or smaller with that button. You can also do searches here. Find the location that you want. You can search navigation using your voice, or you can type it in if you want. The voice recognition actually works pretty good. The next one here is the radio. So you have, this is what the radio looks like, satellite radio. You have different sources as well, Bluetooth. You have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, that kind of stuff. Next one will be your phone. So once you pair your phone, you have access to all your contacts, recent calls. You can send and receive text messages, that kind of stuff. The next one is your vehicle information. You have different drive modes, Eco, Sport, Normal, and Custom. Seat controls are here. So you can fold all the seats with one button, which is great at certain times. As long as these seats here in the front are not in the way, because otherwise just like beep at you and have to stop and redo it, everything. But I like that. So you have driver assist systems, trip information. You also have the energy flow, so you can see where the power is going and where it's coming from, which is nice. I like this visual right here. It's pretty cool. You can schedule it to charge at certain times. Status of your all-wheel drive system here, where the power is going, front or rear wheels. You can see your tire pressure, and you get vehicle alerts there. And the last little cog right here is the settings. You can go in here and adjust what you want. Vehicle customization. You have illumination. You have different themes. So you have like an ambient light. You see that red right there? So you can change it to different things here if you want, different colors. Alright, so the lower half is the climate control. So once again, we can adjust the temperature here with these dials. We have the heated and cooled seat controls, a 3-stage for both. Heated seat, which is a 2-stage, high and low. You can pop up the climate, and you have the settings here. And then you can adjust the rear separately. You have your fan speed, air conditioning, recirculate the air, all that kind of stuff. Now you have the front and rear defrosters here as well. And when you turn on the rear defrosters, it also turn on the heated side mirrors. This is the park assist system, so you can press that and follow the instructions here on the screen. It'll help you park the vehicle. It'll actually turn the steering wheel and all that stuff. This button is for the camera system. You can pop that up. Now when you're just in park, it's just going to give you this view, which is not very helpful. It's kind of neat, I guess, but not all that great. But let's go ahead and put it in drive, because this is the screen that's most helpful. So this is the front view. This is the top-down view. And you have different options here. So you can press that, and we can get like this kind of little bit of a weird view, but it gives you the view all the way around the vehicle and mostly focus it there in the front. Go back there. We can take away the active guidelines or add them in if we want. So as I turn the steering wheel, you can see these little yellow lines here, and also this represents the width of the vehicle here. I like the way it has an automatic function, so which I turn on. So as I get really slow and I'm creeping into a parking spot or something, just my speed lowering down to like 5 miles per hour, it'll automatically pop up the screen so I can see, where I'm at in relationship to the lines or shopping carts and other things that happens to be in the way. This is a really good system. Be able to have that automatically pop up when you get really slow. Now, of course, when we put it in reverse, it's going to give us the rear view, and we have the active guidelines for that, and we can see the back, and we can see the top-down view right here. So yeah, the location of the camera is offset, so we have a center line here to kind of clue us where the center line is. You can see the tag, you can see the bumper and stuff. It's not really ideal, but we can see behind the vehicle fine. But we don't have like a super wide view or anything like that. But we do have the rear cross traffic alert and the parking sensors and all that stuff as well. So yeah, the camera system's really good. I like the way it pops up automatically. You can press this button, or it automatically does it when you put it in reverse. Four-way flashers are here. This is a really cool pocket. Right in here has like a rubber floor, very rubbery and grippy. I can take my cell phone and just plop it right in there, and it fits perfect. And I have a fairly large case and everything. So I like that. We have two USB-C ports here. This opens up. It has like that bamboo look. Open up. And there's more USB ports there as well. USB-A, USB-C. And it kind of goes down in there. It's a little awkward reaching in there. But there is a wireless cell phone charger, which, it's okay. It's just not ideal for me to reach in and kind of contort my hand to put it in place. But I guess you could use it. But it's all right. And then this compartment, same thing. I have to lean forward and reach down in there and bend my arm to try to fit in there. So, not ideal. But yeah, I like this compartment. It's much easier to get to. Here's the cup holders. It has these I love these little arms that pop out, and then they have this little roller looking thing on the ends. So when you have like a styrofoam cup, the cup kind of slides in and out without damaging it. Like some vehicles have like a, it's grippy, and then you think you're gonna break the cup when you pull especially a styrofoam cup in and out of these cup holders. But this one has like this little roller there at the end that just slides perfectly and holds the cup when you're driving. This side you can push down and make it lower. I don't know if you can see that. And then you press this button to raise it up. And if you have a cup in there, it's not going to pop the cup out. It has very little pressure to lift it up. So if you have a cup in there and you accidentally press the button, it's not a big deal. It's not gonna pop your cup out or anything like that. But it will raise and lower it depending on the size cup that you need to put in there. This is a shifter, and it's basically like a Prius shifter. Exactly, it just looks a little bit different. So basically, what you do is press it over and forward for reverse. The parking sensors will be active, the camera will pop up and all that stuff. So pull it over and hold it to go to neutral. Pull it over and pull down to go in the drive. And then to put it in park, you just press here. So you notice this little S right here? The vehicle has to be in drive. So let's go ahead and put it in drive. And then once it's in drive, you can press it down like that to put it in standard mode. And basically now you can use the paddle shifters to shift through the gears. You'll know what gear you're in because it'll show right here. It says standard 4. So it's not technically gears. It has like a CVT type system, but it gives you some ability to raise and lower the speed ratio, especially if you need to downshift or something going downhill and you want a little bit more like engine braking or whatever. You can do that. Now it will regen some power back to the battery if the battery's low, but then it depends on the system and everything. But you can have control over the speed ratio using the paddle shifters. Alright, so right in here you have a brake hold. You can turn that on if you want the vehicle to hold the brake for you when you come to a complete stop. The electronic parking brake is here. You also have a traction control off button. Default will be on. This button cycles through or turns on and off like an off-road type mode for the all-wheel drive system. This button right here, we don't have enough battery percentage to do any of this stuff, but this switches from EV to hybrid, right? And we can hold the charge. If we want to have it in EV, we can just drive EV. Or if we can have it hybrid, we can have it hybrid. But if we press and hold it, now we're in charge mode. So now it actually run the engine more to charge the battery. So if we didn't plug it in for whatever reason, we still want to charge the battery, we can press and hold it and it'll charge the battery. This one will be your automatic EV and hybrid system. Just automatically go back and forth between the systems. You can press that when there's enough battery percentage. It'll go ahead and activate that. Okay, so this armrest is pretty comfortable, soft enough. It's not like a pillow or anything. It's more like a soft rubber, I guess you can say. Now it lifts up this way. It actually lifts up both ways. So there's a button on here, lifts up that side. And there's a button on this side to lift it up this way, so your passengers can get in there too. And it's basically just like a dark abyss. Like, it's really dark, and there's no light or anything. There's a little light there, but it's not adequate enough. It still looks dark. But yeah, and then so basically there's a felt lining at the bottom. If you replace this, it's just a regular felt lining. You can find this anywhere. Just trace it out and put a lighter color one in here, like a tan or a white. You'll be able to see in here much better because it'll reflect some of that light. But the way it is now, it's just like too dark. It's really easy to lose stuff in there. But it is felt lined. It feels good, looks good. There's no like connectivity or anything in there, so there's no places for wires to go in and out of this compartment. So the rearview mirror has a rearview mirror, which is auto dimming right now because I have the shade over the light sensor, which is located over here. Side mirror is also auto dimming here as well. But it has a rear view camera as well. And you notice that when it's nighttime, it kind of dims it as well. So let's go ahead and uncover that light sensor. There we go. So we can see it at full brightness for the rear view camera. Now underneath here is the HomeLink garage door opener controls. Here on the right side is the options for the camera, so you can adjust the brightness and the position and all that stuff as well. So we have some tap lights. Turn on all the lights. Turn on individual reading lights here. Roadside assistance information there. You can have the lights turn on with the door with that button, or you can turn it off if you want, if you have like a baby sleeping or whatever. You have a power shade for the sunroof, and then you have the power buttons there for the sunroof. This headliner is like it's kind of like, not really like a suede. It's not like this kind of suede. It's like a microfiber type cloth. It's very, very soft feeling. Same thing with these visors. It's very soft and cushy, especially. And it has this mirror with a light. And then there is a little place to put in your registration or whatever. This also extends out, gives you good coverage there on the side. But yeah, it feels really good. Now, not as easily cleaned, I'm assuming. So if this was like a vinyl material, it might be better. It feels good and looks good, but as far as like keeping it clean, probably a different material might be better. Okay, so this sunroof, it has a panoramic sunroof where you have the back portion fixed, the front portion moves. But yeah, it's huge. And let's go ahead and tilt it up like so. Now we can close it. Now let's open it up all the way. And it slides over the rear glass. Let's press it again, see if it goes back any further. All right, that's as far back as it goes, so it's not even halfway open. Okay. All right, so now let's close the shade. And the shade covers 100% of the light. And it feels like a similar material as the headliner, but it looks good, covers 100% of the light, and it's soft. Looking at the visibility here in the back, you can see the headrest kind of get in the way. That pillar kind of gets in the way a little bit, and then you have that little window which helps out. But yeah, I mean, I hadn't really had any problem with backing it out of parking spots or changing lanes or anything like that, because not only does it, I mean, the visibility is fine, it's just something to get used to. But even if it was all blocked, you have the parking sensors, the really good camera system, blind spot detection system, rear cross traffic alert, all that stuff to help you drive the vehicle safely. So it's not really an issue, but it is good to have actual visibility here. The space here is good. So yeah, I mean, it's just a normal blind spots that you have to just kind of get used to in any vehicle, really. So this being a plug-in hybrid, you're able to get maximum 37 miles on a charge. And it takes a few hours to charge on a level 2 charger. And so, you know, if you want to have that EV type range, then you can have it. But in general, you just drive the vehicle, and if you need extra power, it's going to kick in the motor and stuff like that, and it's going to kind of give you a blend and add to your efficiency. So it's kind of like pouring in more efficient way of propelling the vehicle forward with the electricity, you know. And so I've been getting about 36 miles per gallon on average, just kind of normal driving, I guess. But depending on your situation, if you're in a city where there's a lot of, you know, stop and go traffic and stuff like that, the efficiency is much higher. It has the potential to be much higher because while you're sitting there in traffic, you're not running the engine, you're using the electricity. So it's just sitting there, just barely tiny bit of electricity being used, waiting, and it keeps your air conditioning going and it keeps everything going for you. So yeah, the introduction of the plug-in hybrid with this vehicle, you know, gives you a much higher level of efficiency, and it depends on what you're doing. You know, if you're doing like a long distance highway trip or something like that, probably not going to make a huge difference, but it's definitely going to make a difference, you know. And also, being a plug-in hybrid is one of those type of vehicles. It's one of those situations where if you don't want to plug it in, then really don't get the plug-in, right? Just get the regular hybrid. But if you're willing to plug it in and put gas in it and all the little extra things there, you're going to add to your efficiency. Could be convenient for you in your situation. So yeah, it's something that I think most people understand now. The plug-in hybrids, hybrid systems. The Prius has been out for years, and you know, so the hybrid system for Toyota, Lexus hasn't been hugely different. You know, it feels like the same. You know, they all kind of feel like the same hybrid system where you have the engine running and then you don't have it running. The acceleration with the transmission system that they have, you know, the hybrid transmission system, you know, feels like that. The CVT experience is what you're going to experience with the engine revs and holds that. And there's not like a stepped acceleration with, you know, different gears, you know, defined gears and all that stuff. So it's different. It gives you better efficiency. It's reliable. You know, Toyota has refined, you know, for the last 25 years or so, has refined the hybrid systems to be very reliable and, you know, just well made in general, typically. So yeah, this vehicle is fairly comfortable. As you can tell, there's some exterior noises getting in. The engine noise is obvious. You know, it's not like obnoxious or anything, but you can hear it when the engine kicks in and out, especially when your acceleration, stuff like that. So it's not like a super quiet vehicle. It does have a really good suspension. You know, it feels comfortable and kind of glides nicely. Handles the bumps well. Handles cornering well. We have a decent amount of room inside this vehicle. And if you like the way it looks and you like the design, and you are, you know, fine with the price and all that stuff, then I would definitely take it for a test drive. There are some quirks that, you know, for me, the whole buttons here on the steering wheel is a little bit of a quirk. You know, it's something that you have to see if it's right for you. It's a little bit of a, you know, I don't know if I really want that type thing. But, you know, a lot of other people use it and have no problem with it, and they're fine with it and everything. It's just to me, it's just like, why? You know, like, what's the purpose? You know, it seems like something to get in the way. It's not really, there's no advantage, there's no value proposition in it. It's actually a negative value proposition to some degree as far as the way this these buttons work on the steering wheel. Now that aside, the heads-up display looks good in general. This one has a little shakiness to it, as if the little module in there is not secure enough, so it has like a little shakiness sometimes. But it just could be this one vehicle. I really like the rear view camera. The digital mirror right here is excellent. It really helps out, especially on highways, and if you have a lot of passengers in the back, cargo, just piled up in the back. This gives you a clear view behind the vehicle. This one has the navigation activated, which is nice, and a nice big screen. Things are located in logical places, I guess. The where you put your phone is kind of like a little bit of this compartment right here is a little bit of a, not as convenient and smooth and great as it could be, I would say. But the cup holder location is good. The armrest comfort, the overall, comfort of the vehicle. The seats are pretty good. They're not bad. And, once you get them, positioned for you, then they feel pretty good. So it could potentially be a long distance type vehicle if you want to take it for a trip or something with your family, because it's more on the family level. It's not the compact. Like the NX would be more of a compact vehicle, a little bit less room, more efficient, that kind of stuff. And then this would be a little bit bigger, a little bit more family friendly, and so yeah, it has a little bit more premium features and materials and stuff like that with the RX versus the NX. So it's not obvious necessarily if you're looking through pictures and stuff, the difference between the NX and the RX, RX 450H Plus or the NX 450H Plus. They're both plug-in hybrids. They both have basically the same hybrid engine and all that stuff. It's just this one's a little bit larger and a little bit more expensive as well. It's like $10,000 more expensive. But yeah. Those are some of my thoughts. I mean, for the most part, I think I enjoy driving this vehicle. Definitely would be happy with the fuel economy for the most part, compared to some other vehicles that are this size and the features and stuff. But and then also for me, like, it's no problem plugging it in. It would be like absolutely no problem. So plugging in vehicles in my situation is it's like no factor. I mean, I would definitely have no problem just plugging it in every time I get home. Just plug it in. It's very simple. But if you're in a situation where you can't plug it in, or it's just a little bit of a hassle to plug it in because maybe the cord you don't have an outlet nearby, or you have to park on the street, or you have to have like you're in some place where you just can't plug it in, then you might want to consider getting the non-plug-in version or something. So yeah, the plug-in hybrids is for certain people that want to have it, and it's not really a catch-all for everybody. Like all vehicles have their use cases and their customer base and their target market, and so yeah, you just have to see if this is going to be that kind of vehicle for you. And that's the reason why I make these videos, so you can kind of look at it and decide for yourself whether it's going to match your needs, your desires, your wants, and your situation. And then kind of secondary to some degree is the price. So because even if it is a cheap price, you're not buying a price, you're buying a product that's going to have to fulfill your needs, right? So and that's kind of primary, and then the price is kind of secondary, and also the price fluctuates. So this one has the lane keep assist or lane trace assist, and it doesn't fight with you at all. It holds the lane fairly well. There's no fighting. There's no alerts beeping at you to hold the steering wheel, because it can already just sense that your hand's on the steering wheel. So it does a good job there. It's one of those systems that work well, and it's in the background, right? It's not primary. Even though you're interacting with the steering wheel a lot, it's not impeding your ability to drive the vehicle. Now it has a beeping going on when you're getting close to the lane or you go over the lane. is beeping at you. But other than that, I mean, it's fine. You know, the holding the lane is, it allows you to be wherever you want in the lane without fighting you to put you in a specific spot. So you can see this road, it's like road construction just got through here, and the lines are horrible and everything, but it's still able to see everything. You can see, it's able to see where the road is and hold the lane. So yeah, it really works well. Very well done as far as the lane keep assist system.